Just the two of us. I can't sing that song because it's copyrighted, but you know what we mean.
Not the copyright.
Not the copyright. Anyways, yeah, it's only two of us today. Sorry, and also if the audio is crunchy, that's my fault. Don't worry about it. But anyways, hola, hola, hola. Welcome to the Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. You can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am not Logan, so don't say anything gay. Like Mrs. Kasha Davis once said, welcome to this Latin only night. I am Eduardo, the Mexican representative of this podcast. I'm here to talk shit and get hit. Today I am drinking coffee because it is the morning. Finally, we're doing a morning podcast. Thank God.
And I am River, your Brazilian correspondent here on the Cup. And I am also drinking coffee because it is not morning for me, but I woke up late, so it kind of is.
Slay. Okay.
And yes, this is the Latino Takeover edition of the podcast today. Special edition.
Everyone else was busy, let's be for real.
Yeah.
Logan is at DragCon right now, so is David, and Lana is doing other more important stuff than talking about people in wigs. Lana has her things going on.
And so we are not jealous of David and Logan at all, by the way.
In any way,
not at all.
Absolutely
no.
Not.
Mm-mm.
No. I didn't want to talk to Lux. Who? Lux? Really? Who?
Me?
Why would I want to do that?
Oh, that's not iconic whatsoever. I mean, I'm excited to hear what they're doing this weekend, and we'll have a lot of tea for next week. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, and so today we will be talking about Drag Race Mexico Season 2, Episode 5, Snatch Game. We've made it, ladies and gentlemen, but before we can get there, we have to talk about the slight, 2 seconds that we had before the news broke out. So, let's get into it. We get back into the workroom, and everyone is depressed.
Devastated, traumatized.
I will never recover. I will never financially or physically recover from this betrayal that I've experienced. But anyways,
I mean, gone but never forgotten. Garcon, truly. You will be forever an icon.
Truly.
And forever missed.
But we don't want to lose any time in this episode because we get straight into the next day, and we have no mini challenge this time around because
I think it was the first episode without mini challenges, right? This season.
Well, episode 1 didn't have a mini challenge.
Oh.
Because the mini challenge was them getting the things that they needed to make the last outfit.
Right.
So it wasn't really a mini challenge, and this one also doesn't have one. But we don't have one because it's Snatch Game, and as we all are kind of aware, Snatch Game doesn't really have a mini challenge before it, or most of the time we don't do a mini challenge before Snatch Game. But everyone calls that it's going to be Snatch Game. Everyone knows that it's happening. Everyone's excited, and we are doing a Snatch Game. And so everyone's excited. We're finally getting to see the Queens do comedy, which is about them, right?
I'm like, yeah, we hadn't now Snatch Game is improv. I'm waiting, looking at my imaginary watch, for an acting challenge, like not improv, just script acting. But anyways, we'll get it. I'm sure.
To it a little bit later on, but I feel like the way that they're putting in these challenges is really weird. But we are having a 9-person Snatch Game, which I think is great. And so we get straight into people are starting to talk about which character they're wanting to do. and like
Oh,
what
wait.
they're planning to
Before
do
that,
to
I think it was
in
before
Snatch
that
Game,
they introduced.
when Taiga comes into the workroom again to try to gag the girls.
Right.
I don't know if Rivers
Right.
Burritos. Hold on. Sorry, technical difficulties. We're new. We're trying our best, okay?
It's our first
Anyways.
time, okay? Be gentle.
Be gentle, be nice to us, please and thank you. Anyways, as I said, Daga comes back into the workroom and tries to gag the girls by telling them that there's one extra queen coming into this challenge. And then we see the one, the only, the iconic Turbulence come into the workroom. But then Turbulence doesn't stop there and says, I didn't come alone. And in comes Burrita, and everyone loses their goddamn minds. For those that don't know, which probably is a few of you, Burrita and Turbulence are like an iconic drag duo here in Mexico. They're where I think they were both in like either cast predictions or like people thought that they were going to be in this season. Um, so people are like excited to see them. There's a huge like love for especially Burrita because she's so funny. They're both really iconic here, and they're like most well known because they like host parties. Like they're the hosts of like most of the drag scene here in at least in Mexico City.
Do they always work as a duo, or do they have also like separate solo careers, or are they like a duo?
I think they are 90% of the time a duo. Most of the time that they're working together as a duo, and like they have a podcast together. They have like their hosting gigs. They do them together, and so 90% of the time, if you see one of them, you're probably gonna see the other one right behind her. So it wasn't shocking when Turbulence came in that Burrita like followed her quite after, like immediately after.
Yeah, it was gaggy for me because I don't know this duo, either of them. So when Turbulenta came in, it was like, oh, another queen, and then the girls were not confused, but I was still confused. But then Burrita came in, and I was like, oh, okay, this is the gag, got it. Then I kind of got into it, I just wanted to say, I did not know Burrita till this time, but now that I do know her, I am absolutely obsessed. I am a stan. Yeah. I want Burrita in season 3 of Mexico or as a permanent judge or something because she's iconic.
Yeah, we will get to it once we either talk about Snatch Game or get to like the judges' looks. But Burrita really steals the entire episode.
100%.
She really like. There's people that want her to replace Oscar Madrazo in like the hosting.
I mean, it was Burrita's Drag Race this episode.
It was Burrita's Drag Race this episode.
She was the winner of the main challenge of the runway. She was the winner of this episode.
And was also the host somehow. Anyways, we start talking about who everyone is gonna do in Snatch Game, and we have both Turbulence and Burrita there to kind of help the girls out because also they're more comedy girls. So them being here makes sense. They're funny. They know what they're doing, and later on we get to see that comedy from especially Burrita, but they're really good at what they do, and so we start to talk to the girls about what they want to do, and we notice that a few girls are nervous more than anything. The girls that have been in the top lately a lot. So people like Horacio are nervous. People like Electra were a little bit nervous. Suculenta, I was really nervous for, but we'll get there.
Yeah, she didn't seem nervous, but when she was talking about the character that she was going to do, the background music kind of hinted to the fact that it was like an iffy choice. They were not feeling it. So I was kind of started to get worried for her right then, but...
Yeah, I was thinking, is this the time Suculenta is going to go home? Is it finally happening? We'll get there, but it doesn't happen.
It was giving that, yeah.
Anyway, so I think we're talking about the before Snatch Game quite enough. I think we have to get
Yes.
straight into it because most of the episode is just Snatch Game. So let's just get
Oh,
straight
there
to
is
it.
one thing that I forgot that I wanted to mention about Burrita talking to the girls. When by the end, there wasn't a tip that she gave that to me, after watching the Snatch Game, was like, that was the perfect tip, especially as an international viewer, like not knowing most, if not all, the references, basically, or the characters. She said to like take everyday kind of stuff that we all go through and use that to bring in relatability to your character, like to use that to make the jokes. And like that was such a good tip.
Yeah, that's
and the girls that applied that tip did the best.
Yeah, that's one of the best like tips that you can get. And I don't think anyone has ever given that tip to the girls in the Snatch Game. And
in that simple language, like so
just
direct and to the point.
Mm-hmm. And so I think Burrita really has this kind of stuff down. And so she really she was a perfect judge for this episode. But let's get to it. Now let's get into
it.
Okay, so
here.
There we go. Here we go. We have 9 queens. And first up, we have Unique. Unique is playing a character named. There you go. Let me just. There you go.
Thank you.
Okay. So
thank you, babe.
Of course. Anyway, so we're starting off with Unique, and we'll go one by one and talk about a little bit about how they did and who the character is. First of all, we have Unique. And Unique is doing a character named Pedrito Sola. Now, I'm not really super familiar with Pedrito Sola because I don't watch his show, but he's like a TV presenter, and he's mostly well known for his show named Ventaneando, which is why he had the window on his little card. But he's just like a 90s, like 80-year-old man that owns this show and is kind of trying to be relatable to like the younger audiences.
The younger generation.
See that?
So I don't know this character. Like you said, you're not a connoisseur, but you know who he is. Just so I kind of have an idea, was it like a talk show host, or what kind of?
It's kind of like show? It's kind of like a morning show. What's this show that they have in like the UK where like they're just talk about recipes and whatever? I think it's kind of like that show.
Oh, okay, really got it.
I think
it's not like interview. It's more like everyday relatability, like cooking and like house stuff. Is that?
As I said, I'm not really I don't really watch it. I believe my grandma watches it, but I could be mistaking this show with another show that they do have in the morning. So I could be getting really confused. And if that's the case, please let me know.
Yeah. If anyone knows and can explain this reference better for both of us, please let us know in the comments, because I would love to know.
This character is really not he's quite older, and I don't watch TV, so it's kind of slipped my mind a little bit. I have heard about him before, but I don't really know the character. However, Unique absolutely kills this character. Unique makes this character absolutely iconic. This old man just trying to be cool, like your dad when he sees your friends come over and he tries to be like, "Hey, what's up, kids? How y'all doing?" And it was
you know what it was giving? Have you watched Modern Family?
Yes.
It was giving very Phil Dunphy. I know all the dances to High School Musical. It was giving very that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very that energy. And I live. It was like, for a person that I had absolutely no idea who this character is, like, she made me laugh the whole way through. And the character transformation for me, like, I couldn't tell that it was Unique.
Yeah.
And when I looked at it, I was like, what?
Yeah.
And also like the whole, like the mannerisms, everything was so good.
It's really well done, and I'm really happy for Unique because she's had a rough couple of weeks this far. She's lip-synced twice before, And so finally she gets to have a good moment, a moment in the spotlight. And I love that. I absolutely love that. And killing Snatch Game is super hard to do, and Unique absolutely does that. So well done, Unique.
So there was just the last thing I wanted to mention. There was one line, like she had good jokes all the way through, but the line that killed me, when, forgive my Spanish, but was when she said, "Estoy ficando muy sulfúrico." I died. I screamed.
She was funny
so
the
good.
whole time.
So good.
There was not a moment where she wasn't funny, and also we'll get to like her and another character, but they were balling with Burrita and Turbulence really well, and so I think that also helped them out a lot.
Yeah, and that's a very big part of Snatch Game as well, like interacting with the other characters, not just the judges or the panel.
Yeah, someone who didn't do that great was Electra. Electra de Carmen Campuzano, also known as La Campu. She's mostly known as a model. When you look her up, Carmen Campuzano, the next thing that comes up is nose, because she done had fucked up her nose.
Oh.
And I guess now she's a DJ. I don't really also know this character. But she was, I looked her up, and she was named like supermodel of the world from here in Mexico, like in the 80s. And so she is a model, she is fashion, and she is now a DJ. Now, I think this type of character is really, really hard to do. This type of character is like doing models, doing like people that are very opulent. It's very hard to make them funny. And I think Electra is kind of scared of going full funny and kind of didn't allow herself to really have fun with it. And so
yeah, I think she was kind of more focused on looking like her. I don't know if she looks like the character, but I'm saying that by what she said in confessionals, like justifying why she chose this character. She said that like she chose the character because she could look like her. So I'm like, that's already not the best reason to choose a character. So I was already worried. And yeah, like, because I judge it like this. I don't know the character, but I also didn't know Unique's character, and it was good. So that's not, I'm not going to take that into consideration. Also, I think the producers kind of did her a favor by not, because she barely showed. Like, I think she maybe answered, she was showed like 3 or 4 times, maybe. Mm-hmm. So I think she might have done maybe even worse than we saw, because producers like her. So if they wanted, I'm sure if they wanted to sell the idea that she was going home today, they could have shown more to justify sending her home if they wanted to.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And well, we'll really get there, but like clearly they care about her, but they don't care about her enough.
They gave her the crickets at one point.
That's
telling.
I think she might have been the only one to get the crickets, and honestly, I think Electra might have been the worst one.
She was the worst. I think Ava, because I wrote it down, I think Ava got the crickets as well once.
That's very possible. We'll get there.
Ava, sorry, not Eva, Ava, because it's
yeah, confusion. But yeah, Ava Poke. Yeah. Anyways, let's move on to someone that we barely got to see during this entire Snatch Game, Janeri doing Katy Perry. Now, I don't really need to tell you all who Katy Perry is. If you're watching this, you already know who Katy Perry is. Like,
and if you don't, now, honestly, good for you.
Yeah, honestly, good for you, because right now she's in a huge controversy and she's working with people that are not great. Anyways, Janeri kind of disappeared for me. Janeri, like, did fine. She had, like, one good joke, which was the one with the eye, but other than that, she really didn't stand out to me in any way, shape, or form. So I was not upset that she was, we'll get there, but like I was not upset that she was just safe, because she was like the definition of just mid this challenge.
To me, like the best part of this was the transformation. Like when they introduced her, I was like, she looks exactly like Katy Perry. It was scary. And she sounded like her as well. Like the voice imitation was so good. Not just like the sound of the voice, but the way that she was speaking was like perfection. The thing for me was it just wasn't funny.
Yeah,
you know,
they're just like
it wasn't bad also, but it like when she did the review, I was like, where are the jokes? Where?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's why they didn't really show us much of Janeri, because there were not many jokes that were happening there. Janeri is well known for doing Katy Perry impressions. Like she's known for like dressing up as Katy Perry and having the makeup look like Katy Perry and everything. And it's very obvious that she can do Katy Perry well, but maybe it's hard to make Katy Perry super funny because maybe Janeri's not super like
yeah.
And also, Jennifer might not be used to doing comedy. That might be a struggle for her. And so we'll get to see moving forward if she keeps struggling with comedy or if this was just a fluke.
I mean, maybe it is not. Maybe she's just not the best at improv, because that is like different than, for example, like her. If she had to, for example, write like a comedy set, a roast or something, that's different because then you're prepared. So we'll see how she does on those types of challenges, but improv was not for her. But
yeah, it was a slight struggle, but it wasn't the worst.
Wasn't a flop, but
it wasn't the
man.
Okay, anyways, let's get to Lexa. Lexa did really well this episode because she did La Veneno. Now, La Veneno, for those that don't know, first of all, you should already know who La Veneno is, but someone doesn't know who they are. So
I know I'm not a connoisseur. I know who she is. I just don't know her well enough. Don't try to get me, girl.
I'm trying to get you. Anyways, La Veneno is this very iconic trans woman that's mostly well known for singing, for modeling, for the talk show like appearances that she made throughout her years. And so she is a very iconic part of the LGBTQ community. I think she's more towards Spain than she is to Mexico, but still, she is an iconic person, and the characterization that Lexa does is incredible. She is really funny. I don't know how close to La Veneno this character. Like, I don't think she had any like quotes from La Veneno or anything, but I don't think that was necessary because I still think that she made the character her own, and it was funny. I still really liked it, so it was good. I think Lexa did a really good job, and it kind of shocked me because I didn't expect Lexa to be good at improv.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either. Yeah, like you clocked me. I know of La Veneno. I'm just not like I'm not. I don't know like her work in depth, but I know of her. But the thing is, I don't know enough about her to tell if Lexa was doing a good impersonation of her or not. In like the way she speaks and all that, because physically, like aesthetically, perfection, right? I mean, but what I did notice was that I noticed that she didn't have many jokes herself, but she was doing a very good job at interacting with the other characters. So that's that kind of pushed her to the top a little bit more for me. But the one thing that I did notice was that not a lot, but like sometimes she would go out of character. Like kind of like, which I get because I cannot control my laugh, but like sometimes she would kind of like try to hide that she was laughing at somebody else's joke, which I know is hard, but like I could tell. So that's just, but I think she did way better than I expected for sure.
Yeah. And also she was one of the funnier ones in this Snatch Game. I think 3 people were really good this Snatch Game, and I think Lexa is one of them. I will say that I think a few of the other girls, I don't think it was just Lexa's problem. I saw a few other girls like break character several times, and so
most of them.
Most of them. So actually. This is not like just Alexa problem. This is a mostly everyone problem. But even then, like, I don't take it against her. I still think she did a really good job this week. So well done to Lexa.
My favorite moment actually was the end. Like after everything was
When
like
she starts
over,
fighting
that they were
Burrita.
when she started fighting. Oh my god.
Who would have
Iconic.
thought? What do you think
So
RuPaul would
good.
say if she saw Lavanino fighting a donkey on her show?
Oh, she would do that like very, very high pitched laugh.
Yeah,
Or the laugh where she goes like this. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That.
this
Yeah,
one, yeah,
that. Hmm.
iconic. Anyways,
Iconic. So
let's
good.
get to another iconic performance. Luna doing Jose Jose. Now, for those
Girl.
that don't know, Jose Jose is a singer. That's what he's most well known for. He was more popular like early 90s, uh, in the 80s, but he still like was really relevant all the way up until his death. And he was really well known for his love of drinking alcohol. So we got to see that
Relatable
loud and clear.
content.
Loud and clear.
Yeah.
Lexa, I was gonna say Lexa. Luna was incredible this episode. She absolutely stole Snatch Game, and I couldn't be happier. Luna doing great at Snatch Game. That was waiting for times like this. I am so happy. She was so funny, and just Jose getting drunker and drunker and drunker and drunker is
So good.
so funny.
Did you notice that like that's I was going to say exactly that point. Like I'm so excited. I'm going to try to contain myself because like one of my favorite my favorite queens are the queens that coincidentally are not do well in Snatch Game. Bob, Jinx, Alaska.
Yeah.
Um those are like my top 3, so yeah. And everyone says that like Jinx is both of her Snatch Games, original season and All Stars, are like the Snatch Game class,
Mhm.
like how it's done. To me, Luna with this performance just got into that elite group
Oh,
of people
absolutely.
where like this is a masterclass of what a good Snatch Game is, because I have zero clue of who this character is. I never heard of this person in my life. No shade. Um, but I got everything. I got everything. Every joke, every punchline. Like besides having the funniest punchlines, like actual jokes, her
Mhm.
characterization of like the mannerisms, the physical transformation on the face, everything, the
Yeah.
props, like the 2 drinks. By the end, like getting drunker throughout the being able to like act and pace that drunkenness is so hard. And then by the
Yeah.
end, my like I died when it was like the last question. I think she had half the blazer off. The shirt was unbuttoned. The bow tie was hanging on the shirt like sunglasses. It was like she
And
had given her one of the cups to someone else. Like it was just
yeah, it
so
was
perfect.
iconic. Luna
Iconic.
really knows how to do improv, and she absolutely outshone every single person in this room. The only person that had a fighting chance was Burrita, literally. Like, no one
Yeah,
was funnier. No one was funnier.
she
I
had
think
her foot on everyone's neck. Period.
absolutely, and I think making a character that gets progressively drunker and drunker and drunker is a really smart idea because it allows you to really go for it, to just go crazy with it. Because at that point, you're no longer doing that character, you're just doing a drunk person. And I think drunk people are funny. When drunk people are stupid, drunk people say stupid things. And if this character is known for being drunk 90% of the time, he's gonna say some stupid shit, and we definitely saw it, and that was super funny.
Yeah, when you're playing a drunk character, like Snatch Game is about like going in and taking it as far as you can with the jokes and like with everything. So like playing a drunk character allows you to go even further because it's like
Absolutely.
you have that excuse to make it like extreme and kind of push it over,
really
push the boundaries a little bit. Yeah,
absolutely.
So good.
Okay,
So good.
Really well done, Luna. Anyways, let's move to the bottom part of our panel in Snatch Game. We have Eva, who is doing Jesus Christ, specifically the one in Iztapalapa. Okay.
Mother playing father. Iconic.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so I only want to touch on a little thing. For those that don't know, Iztapalapa is a part of Mexico City that is really, really, really Christian, but it's also kind of like lower income, and so it's a little more like, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say the word that I'm thinking, but you know what I mean, right? It's a little more like
a more
street Jesus,
simple,
basically.
Okay, original
Street Jesus, basically.
Original
Jesus.
You know,
it's an original character. Yeah. And she does fine. I saw where she was going with it, and I immediately got the accent and like what she was going for, because I've been through Iztapalapa. I know what she's talking about and kind of the characterization that she was doing. However, there were not many jokes there. Like, we've seen people do Jesus Christ before, and there just weren't enough jokes that like I wanted to see.
Yeah, when I saw the preview last week and I saw that she was playing this character, I was so excited to see what she was going to do with it. And I don't think she did bad, but here's my thing. With your drag character being a stoner, Eva Blunt, and then you choose a character, Jesus Christ, that is known for, hanging around with people that do drugs, prostitutes, every minority that you can think of. My thing for Eva is like, it was just a missed opportunity. She could have done so much. Like, I think she didn't have a strong direction of where she wanted to go with the character, because when you play a character like this, you take what everyone knows about this character, and then you give it another characteristic, like another main focus to that character. Like, I don't know, like he could be an alcoholic, or he could be like a prostitute himself, or like something, like something. Yeah. So if she had played Stoner Jesus, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, that might have been better.
Yeah, it's just it was just a missed opportunity for me, but she didn't do bad.
Yeah,
she just the look was great. The look was amazing, but
she just didn't go far enough with it. I think she just kind of held herself back and didn't allow herself to make enough jokes to really get herself.
Maybe she was kind of scared because Brazil is a very Catholic country overall, and I know Mexico is as well. So maybe she was a little scared to do certain jokes because of possible backlash or something. It's just a guess, maybe, but it's just so much potential wasted with this character.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but Eva does.
But other people did worse, so it's fine.
Other people did way worse. Speaking of people that did worse, let's talk about Horacio. Horacio came in as Paco de Miguel, who is mostly well known as a TikToker and like an influencer. However, Horacio is not playing the influencer themselves. They're playing a character that this influencer plays in their TikToks. Mm-hmm. So they're playing this character of like a very kind of conservative, kind of super guarded Christian Mexican mother. Mm-hmm. And so Paco does a lot of has this character recurring in his TikToks, and normally it's really funny. And the voice was kind of there, but other than that, Horacio didn't really do much for me. She just missed a lot of the jokes here, and I think at this point we can say that doing influencers and doing like TikTokers on Snatch Game doesn't really work.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with you. It would have to be, I don't know, it would have to be something like either very well known or like very specific. And like, I'm kind of hesitating because people did influencers in Brazilian Drag Race, and I didn't think it was horrible. Like, some could have been better, but like it was fine. So I'm not I don't think it's that necessarily, but it's about like if you're gonna do an influencer, it needs to be the correct choice for you.
Yeah.
I think it's harder. It's harder to choose an influencer that's gonna be a good character in Snatch Game than it is to choose any other type of celebrity. That I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree.
One thing that killed me. Oh, I'm sorry. One thing that killed me was when I don't know who was that said it, but someone said that she sounded like Mickey Mouse, and I screamed.
It was Burrita. I believe it was Burrita. So.
Of course it was. I mean, she was Burrita getting the girls.
Burrita kind of absolutely murdered Horacio several times because Horacio would try to make a joke and then Burrita would kind of clap back of being like, that wasn't funny. And
I think that kind of made it worse for her.
Yeah, that made it a lot worse, and I think that made Horacio getting to her head and kind of think like, "Oh, I'm not doing great," and so she started
to shrink. I felt her going like this.
I mean, yeah,
I felt her getting uncomfortable.
Yeah, at the end of Snatch Game, you can literally see her basically hiding away, and so she
I felt
really
for her, but like I get it. If it was me in her position, I would probably have reacted the same way. I gotta be honest; it's very me. So I really felt for her because, like the judges said when they were deliberating, she started well, right?
Yeah, she did.
Not like the best, but like she had a good start, and then while the game was happening, she kind of started to get into her head and like.
Yeah, and she
shrank.
just shrinked and failed. Yeah, which is really sad to see. For someone like
but it's sad to see, but it's nice to see that like. She's not like that. She's not good at everything, but not in the sense of like she can't be good at everything. But like it's nice to see that she has strengths and weaknesses. That's what I mean.
It's nice to see that someone is not untouchable. That everyone is like that. Not anyone is absolutely 100% safe. That if you do bad, you're gonna be in the bottom 3.
Yeah.
You might get saved because you might be favored. But they're gonna put you in that bottom. They're not gonna question that. So I like to see that, absolutely. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Horacio struggled this episode, and we will get there.
She kind of did it before. Like she was worried before, even. So like,
I think also that mentality of going into it, being nervous and being like, I don't know if I'm gonna do well, kind of screwed her up. Okay, let's get to the next girl who also didn't do great. It's Ava Pocket doing Paulina Rubio. Paulina Rubio is most well known as a singer and kind of like a model, and she does a few stuff here and there. She's like a wearer of many hats. She's mostly well known as the Golden Lady.
Why? Because I heard people saying that. I was like, why? Because I'm kind of ignorant in this part, but like I know her from the X Factor when she was a judge.
Yeah. What I know her mostly from is from because my dad is a huge fan of this band. She used to be in a band when she was younger called Timbiriche, and so that's where I know her mostly from. I know her more for her music, but I'm gonna be 100% honest. I'm not sure why they call her La Dama Dorada. I'm not 100% sure. I looked it up on like when I was looking everyone up just so I could really have like a sense of who they are and what to talk about. It never really mentioned why people call her that. I think it was just a nickname that just originated on its own and it just stuck. But
or maybe it has something to do with like maybe like an album cover that she had, or like something on a music video or an appearance or something. If anyone knows, because I love to learn about that stuff. Like if anyone knows, please let us know in the comments. Why is she called the Golden what?
The Golden Lady, La Dama Dorada.
Yes.
The Golden Girl, basically. Yeah. Also, let's remember, I am a Gen Zer, so like a few of these references fly over my head. Um, but anyways, yeah, Have a Pocket kind of flops really hard this episode, which I think is funny because her ex-boyfriend Visa also did Paulina Rubio in her Snatch Game in España and went home
Really?
because she talked about it in the episode. She said like I wanted
Oh,
to do Paulina Rubio because Visa did Paulina Rubio in her Snatch Game and she went home in that episode. So I want to kind of show her that I can do it better, or like I want to like kind of make a reference to that as well. And so
mm.
I think it didn't work. It
Maybe
just
she
didn't
did
work.
bad because she was playing. She was not playing Paulina. She was playing her ex boyfriend's version of Paulina, which was bad. So maybe actually we're dumb and we didn't get it, and she actually did well.
That's some 5D
Who
chess.
knows?
I don't think Ava, like I love Ava. I don't think she's at that level of smart.
I know.
Uh,
I'm just doing the most. Yeah.
I know.
Because I don't want to be mean. I don't want to talk about it, to be honest. I don't want to be mean because I like him. But like,
Yeah, I like Ava, but she definitely struggled. I saw how many balls were thrown to her court, like how many jugs they were throwing at her, and how she missed every single one of them. And it was really unfortunate because I love Ava, but this character is already, we've already seen that this character is kind of hard to do, and how it can like lead to your elimination if you do it badly, and it just wasn't there.
yeah, same as Electra, they didn't really show her as much as the other queens. So I'm wondering, like, did she actually do even worse, or did they only choose like the worst moments and she actually didn't do as bad as we think? I always think that because I know that they don't show everything on Snatch Game, so I'm always like, I try not to judge like I judge, but I'm trying not to judge as much because we never know like the full tea. But like from what we were shown, this was rough.
It was a rough
Yeah,
episode.
she was the other person that they gave the crickets in the edit.
Yeah.
And I even wrote down she appeared on the first round, like the first round of questions, once in the middle, and then again at the end, and that was it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, there was a moment where I was like, "Oh, Ava is just not showing up. Why is she not showing up?" And so then the moment she showed up, the joke didn't land, and I said, "Oh, okay, she's in the bottom. Okay, that's where we're going with this."
And the last thing I want to say, girl, this wig.
The way.
I cannot.
Paulina has beautiful hair, like incredible.
That's
hair.
like the one feature from her that I'm like, she has like perfect hair.
Yeah, like perfectly beautiful hair. I
bouncy
think
hair.
That
like,
might be the reason why she's known as like La Dama Dorada, because the hair is so beautiful. It's golden, whatever. Girl,
that would make sense.
How are you gonna be Paulina Rubio and have this crusty, dusty, musty, thirsty wig? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Unfortunate. Anyways, let's finish this off with Suculenta, who does this character named Perro Bermudez. Perro is mostly well known for being like a sports presenter or like a soccer / football host or like commentator. That's the word I was looking for.
Like he narrates the games, right? And then talks about the game after, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what Perro was. But what he's also known for, especially in the community, is that he kind of started using inclusive language when he was talking in like about the sports and everything. And the conservatives got kind of upset because they thought it was stupid and whatever. But Perro was later named like the father of inclusive language because of this. And so that was kind of
so now this choice makes more sense to me, because I was wondering like, why did she choose this game? Like, why did she choose a sports commentator
really
for like a queer show? But anyways, I get it now. It makes more sense.
Yeah, I'm still confused as to why she chose this character because, first of all, I don't know this character. I don't watch sports. Football was never my thing. Soccer has never been my thing. Any type of sports, most of the sports, just not my thing. And so I don't really listen to Perro. So a lot of things were just going over my head. But Suculenta, surprisingly, did a really good job.
I mean, I don't think she did. To me, I don't think she did a good job, but I also don't think she did a bad job. You know what I mean? It was like just it was serviceable, safe in the safest way possible to me. Like not flopping, not standing out. But go ahead.
I was gonna say I think she kind of stood out a little bit more than several other queens because I feel like, well, let me see, 1, 2, 3, like 5 of them did mid to bad. I think Suculenta had moments where she was funny and had moments where she was standing out and she was talking to other people. And so to me, I think she was one of the better ones this episode, but she was definitely safe for me.
She stayed in character at least. Like she was one of the people that, like, even though I didn't really understand or enjoy the character, she stayed in character. So that's and the transformation was also good. Like you couldn't tell that it was like it was. But my thing is, now that I know kind of why she chose him, like the whole inclusive language part and all of that, I'm kind of more understanding of this choice. But I don't have a problem with playing cis hetero men on Snatch Game. But if you're gonna play a cis hetero man, you have to go in. You need to make that be a joke. You need to make fun of that character. That's the whole point. So that to me was the one thing that was missing. So
I was gonna say, I think a way that we can look at it, like someone that did a straight male character was Monet Exchange when she did this boxer. Who was it? Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
Well, straight is questionable, but sure.
He's mostly well known as a
we'll go with it.
We'll go with it. Officially, yeah. Like out of all of the men that have been played in Snatch Game, I think Mike Tyson is the straightest of them all. And most of the jokes were
Flavor Flav. Isn't Flavor Flav straight? Yeah.
Yeah, also Flavor Flav.
See, that was like making fun of, like, Shay as Flavor Flav was like how I wanted her to approach this character, like in her own way with like this specific character. But like that's the vibe that I wanted with approaching the character.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like Suculenta did good, but she could have done even better if she really, really went there, and she didn't really. But I think this character was already hard enough as it was. So as is, I am surprised by how well Suculenta did, because Suculenta has been struggling.
Yeah.
And so
it was kind of nice to see her like not flop.
Yeah, it was nice to finally be like, I would have put her safe in this episode, and like finally, I agree with her placement.
And I'm excited because I have not been enjoying her in the challenges in the runway as much, but I do enjoy her as a person, like in the workroom and confessionals and all of that. I do enjoy Suculenta. It's just I want to see her do well and better in the challenges. So I was happy to see her at least improving this week.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. So Snatch Game finishes with have a fight between Veneno and Burrita, which is iconic.
Iconic.
And we get straight into the runway. So let's talk about our judges first and foremost. Okay, in the fight of Taiga versus Lolita, I think we're tied so far. I think Lolita has 2 points. I think Taiga has 2. For me, this episode, there's one girl, like one of them looks way better than the other. And I hope you're agreeing with me. But to me, my favorite one And I think the one that won this time was Taiga.
Yes, we agree. I was like, I got nervous. I was like, are we? Because Lolita looks good, but like, the sleeves on Taiga's look, girl. I love this.
I will say this though. I think she looked better when she didn't have the head wrap on. I think her hair down looked better. However, I still think she looks really good. This hair, the giant sleeves, the color of this hair, it's really good. It's really well done.
I love that they both did like a solid color look, because not monochromatic, because the hair is not the same, but like just like two solid colors. I love that. And in this picture is all of the judges, but when they were like walking in, it gave me Brazilian flag, because Taiga was wearing green, Lolita was wearing yellow, and the stage is blue. So I was like, okay, work, Brazil, work.
Brazilian representation, yeah.
Always. And I Burrita, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed.
I was gonna say, we don't talk about Oscar, but we can talk about Burrita and girl. I was gonna say this. I think Burrita is what Suculenta wants to be. Suculenta markets herself as the botarga of drag, and Burrita is literally a botarga, so I think she kind of upstages her in every way.
Yeah,
but
I mean, we need to start a petition to, if not have Burrita as a permanent judge, but at least she needs to be in one episode per season. Like, she needs to be in every season at least once.
There are petitions already to have both Burrita and Turbulence replace Oscar Madrazo.
Oh, okay. I don't know if replace, but it would be nice to have them in rotation, maybe. Right?
Yeah, it would be nice to have them. I love that we have 4 people in drag in the judging panel, because most of the time we have 1 or 2 at most, and so having 4 of them is really iconic. Turbulence also looks really, really, really good. We've talked a lot about Burrita this episode, but Turbulence also did really well and gave really good critiques this episode. It helped the girls out a lot. So I think...
And she was funny on the Snatch Game as well, like with the interaction with the girls. She was also funny. It's just Burrita just stole the show.
Yeah. Burrita stole the show, but Turbulence was also really, really funny and really stood out to me as well. And so, well done to both of them. And we won't talk about Oscar Madrazo because we don't like that person. Anyways, moving on. Let's get...
Well, I'm neutral on him, but anyways, moving on.
Girl.
So, yes.
La categoría es antisistema. So basically, everything that Gottmik stands for, it's this. Crash the system, basically.
Yes.
That's basically
my favorite theme so far from this season, but like, this is one of my favorite runway categories of all time. Like, one of my favorites. I love this. I wanted, we'll talk about it on Look Over Here further, but I wanted them to go even further, but everyone did so well on this.
Yeah. Everyone did.
I just wanted more.
Yeah, we'll really get into it with the Look Over Here. But this category is a really good category that allows you to play around with a lot. And we saw several girls play with textures and patterns, and I think that was really fun. But we'll really get to it once we get to the Look Over Here. So let's get started with the looks. And
let's just go through them
one by one. And
just like real fast.
Very brief overview of what we think about them. And then we can go more into like detail in the Look Over Here, which you can watch on the Patreon if you are subscribed. Anyways.
So let's start with Eva.
Eva Blunt. This looks like...
Eva. Sorry.
Yeah, Eva Blunt. She looks amazing. She is incredible. This giant half skirt that she has is really good. I love a face skinny, but I really like that the face skinny still has a mohawk. She looks great.
Mother. I thought it was a tomato at first, but then I got it. But I don't understand the red, but I live.
I still like it. Then we have Janeri. Sure. I like it.
I
think
like
there could be more.
The message more than I like the look.
I agree. Okay. Moving on, we have Lexa. How would you use what do you want to say about Lexa?
See, this is good. I just wanted something different. I feel like this is not just specifically about her, but I feel like a lot of the girls had the same or a similar interpretation of the theme. So I kind of overall wanted they all look great this runway, but I wanted to see more variety in interpretations. Yeah. That's all.
Yeah, and we'll really
she looks great
into the look over here, but
yeah,
I was gonna get to that. I feel like I don't like having to read like what your message is.
I like the messages, like the actual message I enjoy, but I'm not a fan of written drag or like something like in the club, me wearing a graphic shirt saying that I don't like writings on clothes. How ironic. But yeah, I don't know. Unless it's Megami's Protect Queer Art, no posters, please.
But that was funny. Anyways, but I will say Lexa looks incredible. Lexa looks incredible.
Always.
Anyways.
I don't think she can look bad ever. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Up next, we have Unique.
This was very controversial between the both of us. So I'll just say, as a maximalist, I live.
As not a maximalist, I'm struggling a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And that is 100% valid. That's valid. I get it.
We have the iconic Ava Pocket.
Was it giving Rebelde for you as well? Because that's what I got.
Rebelde? I missed the reference.
The show.
Rebelde?
The teenage show? Yes. Okay. Here's the thing. I know Rebelde was big in Mexico because it is a Mexican show. Okay, I understand because I didn't watch it back then because it was around the time that I was like 10 to 15-ish. But I didn't watch it because I was a High School Music girly, so I didn't really watch that. But it was so big, like it was huge, especially in Mexico and Latin America. But like Brazil, they did a tour recently, and it was like sold out everywhere. It's like huge. Look it up later if you don't know, just so you can see the reference.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But she looks like the characters, like with the uniforms and all of that. So.
Yeah,
I like it. I love this look.
I also really like this look, and if you're gonna go home, what a good look to leave on. But I was gonna say, I just missed the reference of Belgie because I also was a High School Musical kid, and also I was. If you were 10, 15.
Well, you're younger, so.
Yeah, I'm younger by a few years, so I was like.
Oop, not clocking me. Anyway, but I'm sure that everyone that watched Rebelde got this reference immediately because that's very on the nose.
Yeah, and that's probably what she was going for. But she did amazing. Even when I didn't get the reference, I still think she looks really, really, really good. So really well done. Then we have Horacio Potasio yet again killing it. It's not fair.
Y'all, I'm asexual and I'm horny. So, that's what I have to say about, come on now. Come on. Period.
And this is just sex on legs. Absolute sex on legs. Really, really good.
I mean.
Up next, we have Suculenta, Suku. Yet again, I I need them to stop. I need to stop with the banners, with the written messages. I love the message yet again, but you need to display it in another way. But surprisingly,
like I like it. Like just say it on the runway when they're walking. Like just go out and scream that. Like chant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you don't need to hold a sign. Just do the chant.
Yeah, like Janeri did talk while she was walking down the runway. I feel like if you're gonna do that, you might as well just like if you want to display a message, you might as well just scream it. We will get there, but I wish also Janeri just didn't have also her, because she did what needed to be done. She said it, and so I think that's more important. Anyways, going back, circling back to Suculenta. I think this might be the best that Suculenta has looked.
Yeah,
maybe. And this might just be because like it's really hard to fuck up this category, because even when it looks messy, it's like it looks
intentional.
Purposeful.
Yeah.
And so Suculenta looks the best that she's ever looked.
I love the message and I love the look, and I was so happy to see her do well this episode.
Yeah.
And
then we have Luna Landsman
giving
not my favorite,
Monster High doll.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? It's Monster High for me.
Yeah, it is giving Monster High.
In the best way.
It's a little messy with like the way that the spikes are made, but other than that, I think she looks really good. And seeing Luna like this is really refreshing, because normally we don't get to see this side of Luna, so this is a really good way.
Different, but still her, right?
Yeah, it's still in her like world, but it's still like it's different. It's giving us something different that we haven't seen from Luna, so I like that. And then we have Elektra Vanderbilt,
killing it.
She's
always
the fashion girl. Like, how can she?
Bitch,
she can't
this hair. I'm obsessed. She's
we'll really get to it.
I don't. She's
really
never gonna look bad, is she?
No, she's not.
She's not. She's not.
Incredible. Well done, Elektra. Please give me your fashions. Please and thank you. Anyways.
So good.
Beautiful gowns.
Beautiful gowns.
So we get back to the main stage, and we get our tops and bottoms. We get told that Suculenta, Janeri, and Eva are all called safe. And so we get our tops, who are Luna, Lexa, and Unique. And our bottoms, who end up being Horacio, Ava, and Elektra. How do we feel about this judging?
I think this was the most cohesive judging of the season so far for me. Like, I agree 100%.
Yeah, this
100%.
I was shocked. I was shocked and appalled that for the first time in this entire season, I agreed with the judges 100%. Because most of the time, like, I have like one queen that I would swap out, or like there's a few things that like I would change. This time, I think they got it right. And so
there was not much room, honestly, for it to be any different. Because like other challenges, there was a little bit of room for them to, like, depending on what they would say during the judging, they could kind of sway the result one way or the other if they wanted to. But for this episode, I don't think they had any choice, even if they wanted to have anything different. It was very
obvious,
right?
How kind of who that had to be in the top and who had to be in the bottom, because they couldn't put like it was very obvious to me. It was very obvious who was where, and
it was really nice to see people that have never been in the top be in the top, especially for this. Like, it was just such a good episode. I'm like, this season of Mexico has been my favorite season to watch this year so far.
Yeah.
Like,
and
it's the one that I get excited to, like, oh, there's a new episode. Like, I'm like, yes. It's the one that's giving me the tingles.
I agree, but I'm also biased, so.
But you're not, though, because if I'm not Mexican and I'm saying that, then it must be true.
It must be true. Yeah. Anyways, so we get back, and Luna Lensman wins her first main challenge. Finally, we get one of our girls.
Deserved.
Absolutely deserved. I 100% agree. I was scared for a second that they were going to give it to Lexa because, they love Lexa. They're really into Lexa. And she had, I think, a better look. But I was so glad that they chose to give it to Luna because overall, this was her week. And if she didn't have this week, I don't know how, at what other moment she would have been in the top. And so
maybe a different acting challenge because clearly she's a good actor. So maybe that.
But looking at the season, I don't know when we're gonna get an acting challenge.
Well, I'm waiting.
We're gonna get there. But Luna wins her first challenge. Thank God.
Just one thing I wanted to point out is that I would have been okay if for this they gave a tie for the winners.
I thought they were going to
I would have been okay if they gave a tie for Luna and Unique, and I would also have been okay if Unique was the winner. Because they both did so well. So, honestly, it could have gone either way for me.
When they started naming, all three of them, before they give the win, because most of the time they call one of them safe.
Oh, they say a little thing before.
Yeah, and then they say the little thing before. Normally, they call one of them safe. This time they didn't, and so I was like, oh, are we gonna get a double win? And we didn't. But
they wanted to gag us.
And I think, and they gagged us real good because this time around, this was all really different. But I was thinking that they were gonna give Unique a win as well. But I'm okay with it just being Luna. Luna did really, really well this week, so really well done. And in the bottom, we have Ava Pocket and Electra Vandergold, which was shocking to me, I'm going to be honest. Because when I saw
it was shocking for everyone. We could tell the girls were gagged.
Yeah, because, first of all, Electra is clearly one of production's favorites. Production clearly really likes Electra, but they also really like Horacio. But I thought that they were going to put Horacio in the bottom because she's a better lip syncer than Electra. We all know that Horacio is a really good dancer, and if they wanted to get rid of Ava, which was clearly the point, I thought they were gonna put Horacio in the bottom next to her so that they ensured it and there was no question about it. But they didn't do that. They put Electra in the bottom next to Ava, which I agree with. I think they were the worst. But I was shocked. That's for sure.
Yeah. But that's one of the reasons that I have been enjoying this season so much because I want to be gagged. I want to be shocked. I don't want obvious results every time. Of course, I want the person that did the best to win and the person that did the worst to go home. But I don't want to know everything before I even watch the episode. I want to be entertained and locked in. So, yeah.
Yeah. But could you have imagined an Horacio versus Electra lip sync?
Oh, that would have been this was already the best lip sync of the season, but that would have been
iconic.
Girl.
Anyways.
Oh.
So this Electra and Ava lip sync to Reina de Corazones by Alejandra Guzman. I think, in my opinion, I hate to say this, Ava kind of won it for me.
Oh, interesting. Why?
Because
I don't think she did bad, but I disagree.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. But for me, and I saw a few comments in Twitter that were calling this out. There were a few moments where I saw that Electra kind of messed up her words, and then she looked really, really, really desperate to the point where it felt like she was just going too hard. This song does call for you to go hard on it, but I felt like she was going maybe too crazy to the point where she was rolling around on the floor. It didn't feel like it fit with what the song was calling for. like 100%. But even then, I'm saying this as if this is like a huge problem. I would have made this a double shante, straight up.
Oh,
I would have let
I
them
could
both
see
stay
that.
because I think they both did really well, and I want to see more from both. But
Mm-hmm.
I think Ava really called my attention, but it might just be that I prefer the way that Ava performs.
Yeah, I don't see. It was really close to me. Like I disagree, but like not that much because I don't like to me, it was a very close lip sync.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do agree that Electra did look not the whole time for me, but like at times she did kind of look a little bit desperate. But to me, she was giving a lot in the face, and for performance wise, like the movements that they were doing, I preferred Ava's performance. But maybe it's because of the makeup that she was wearing that she couldn't really express much in the face. So I think that kind of is why. But
yeah,
because of the feeling, I don't know the lyrics, but because of the feeling that I got from the song, I felt like Electra embodied the vibe of the song better. And that's like the only reason why I would agree that she won the lip sync. But to be honest, it could have gone either way for me. I just didn't want to see Electra go home because I want to see the rest of her runways, to be honest.
Yeah, also.
Like,
but
so,
also I was gonna say this. I preferred Ava's performance, but I knew the moment that she was in the bottom that she was gonna go home.
Yeah.
It was very
They were not gonna send Electra home at this point.
Yeah,
not after sending Garçon home, like the other fashion queen. No, they're not.
Yeah,
they're not.
And especially knowing that next challenge is a design challenge, they couldn't get rid of Electra. And so it happens. Ava does end up losing the lip sync and going home. We lose.
The last thing I wanted to say, I disagree with them. I liked Electra rolling on the floor. That killed me. That killed me. It was just it had nothing to do with the song, and that's why I liked it. It was so camp to me.
For me, that's kind of like a slight issue that I had with the lip sync. I feel like the rolling around on the floor didn't fit, and I feel like it would have been funny if she would have stopped like a second before or like 2 seconds before. I think she rolled a little bit too much.
Maybe she didn't know the lyrics for that part of the song. Who knows?
Yeah, it's very likely. Yeah. We saw there was another like in Canada versus the World, the lip sync. I also feel the same way, but that's not here. Go check out our coverage for Canada versus the World, which we're also covering. And I'm not in it, but I have my thoughts. Anyways,
but we're doing it. Yes.
Yeah, we lose our pocket-sized queen. Yeah, we're doing it. We lose our pocket-sized queen, Ava Pocket. Very sadly, very depressing. I love this queen, and losing her feels so sad. I thought that she was slowly but surely climbing up, and it broke my heart to see her go home. But we lose her, and we get a little look into next episode, which is yet again another design challenge.
Which I love design challenges, but like I need production to think about the order of these challenges. Please. Like
I have to agree. Yeah, because at this point we've had 5 episodes. Next episode is gonna be 6. Half of those episodes will be design challenges, fashion focused. Then 2 of them would have been dancing focused, and only 1 of them will have been focused in comedy. There's a clear struggle here. There's a clear problem here where like they're not giving the comedy girls like any time to shine. Yeah. And it felt like they put Snatch Game here because they felt like they kind of were forced to do it. Because I feel like it feels like they don't want to do any comedy challenges. Like at this point, it feels like they just don't want to do it.
Yeah, this is the one thing about production this season that's kind of like getting on my nerves, because other than that, I think production is great, like one of the best. Yeah. But the order of these challenges is just, it's weird. And it is kind of giving like they're choosing the next challenge based on who's still on the cast and who they want to see do well. And I don't like that. I like my shows to be produced, but I don't like them to be overproduced. And that's a very fine line. But
what I was thinking after I finished watching the episode is that what they could have done, and I feel like it could have kind of worked out, would have been if they did first a fashion challenge, then a dance challenge, then comedy challenge, then you do another fashion challenge, another dance challenge, another comedy challenge, and then you go like that. If you want to have like a 3 fashion challenges, 3 dance challenges, and 3 comedy challenges, that ends up working out, and you kind of show us everything that these girls can do. But we will see. Hopefully, at the very end of the season, we get to see more comedy challenges. But I am a little worried for those because clearly the girls that are being favored in the competition are not particularly good at comedy, which is gonna be a slight struggle coming forward. Anyways, well, I think that's it. We've talked about everything that we had to talk about. We have.
I could go on for hours, but I will spare everyone that. Right.
Anyways, let's just. I forgot the outro to this, so I'm just gonna wing it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, everybody.
Remind everyone to watch our look over here for this episode. We're recording it right after this. It will be posted right after. If you are a Patreon, you will get it a little bit earlier than everyone else. So get on that. But if you want to know more about what we think about the looks, go watch our look over here episode. If you don't have a cup mug, you can get a cup mug on alanagcreations.etsy.com. It is on the description below. We still don't have our cup mug, but we are working on it. Also, if you want to watch other reality shows reviews, we have another channel. You can check that in the description below as well as Eduardo's socials, because I don't share mine because I don't like social media. So yeah, go follow Eduardo.
Yeah, and also we also have a channel that focuses that gives you everything wrestling, and we have a channel that gives you everything ESC/Eurovision. So go follow that, go subscribe, go like this video, comment, do all of that, and I guess that's it. I guess we'll get out of here, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody between.
Let you go.
Cheers. Woo! We did it, River. We did it.
We did it.
We survived.
Baby, we made it.